morning, Jana.
Good morning. Are we recovering?
Yeah.
You're recovering from like major carb overload?
I feel very puffy. Like I woke up this morning and my joints were sore. Like,
I mean, if you're not used to eating sugar and then, yeah.
yeah, I do it to myself though. Like what? I have no one to blame but me.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, some pretty good stuff. We had good
But you mean besides the Cracklin' Oat brand, king of cereals?
Cracklin' Oat brand was delish. I had homemade macaroni and cheese. I had spaghetti, which I mean, in and of itself was not all that exciting, but when you don't ever have spaghetti, when you're just eating like spaghetti squash with sauce or like those whatever,
or like the zucchini
thing.
or the zucchini squiggle noodles.
Yeah, every now and then you're like, I just want spaghetti,
real noodles,
you know. Yeah. So that was good, and cookies, lots of cookies, and Reese's peanut butter cups. Wow. I sound like I have a major eating disorder.
You just normally don't do sugar.
Yeah, so Christmas Day is like all sugar all day, and then at night we played the family edition of Cards Against Humanity, and we were sitting around and I had my bowl of candy that was like from my stocking and whatever like there, and I'm like eating Tootsie Rolls because it's my husband got me, that's my weird candy that I love is Tootsie Rolls, so I'm eating that and I'm just laughing my head off because the game is so funny, but I was totally losing it, and my kids were like, what is going on?
Sugar.
Adam like pointed to the pile of wrappers and is like, she's on the sauce.
Right? That's so funny.
Yeah.
So let's see, you played Cards Against Humanity. We got out and learned how to play Catan, which my kids had done it just once or twice before, but my husband and I had never played. And I mean, there's some strategy there. It took me.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just want to say on the box, it says like 45 minutes to an hour to play a game. No, it's way longer.
That's what I'd heard, because I knew like in the early 2000s when we were living in Arizona, people would have Catan parties and they would go like all night, and people like, so these were people who knew each other from church, you know, and like wouldn't be talking to each other at church the next day. Like people would be upset with how things went down at the Catan party. And I'd be like, oh gosh. So,
well, you know, when you're learning, it takes longer, certainly. And there is quite a lot of strategy involved. And I can see, you know, things got a little bit heated. There was a little tension, little family tension, but it's okay. It's okay, you know.
Well, within the context of a game, as long as everyone can then walk away from it.
Yeah.
And be like, that was the game, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you just have to realize there's going to be payback.
Right.
During the game, you know.
During the game. Again, in the context of the game.
Right. People at church are all crabby the next day.
I know. I was like, what happened to them? Well, Catan got a little heated last night. Okay.
And we played two complete games, and it probably took 4 hours. But again, we're learning and like, okay. I've been married 33 years. You would think I would reach some level of acceptance during 3+ decades. I'm still so annoyed that it takes my husband so long. I mean, we'll sit there. It's a good thing I bring my knitting, because we'll sit there and wait. And finally someone will say, do we need to get the timer? You know, the little thing. Because
he's running all the angles.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
But I'm like, can you not think about this while other people are taking their turn? I mean, I know things change and the game is fluid. I mean, I understand that. And the Jeopardy theme song is playing in my head in the background. Oh, it's just, oh my word. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, well, but if you were sorry, you would stop doing that.
Right.
Oh my goodness. But still.
Yeah.
I understand it takes him a while to process these things, and he wants to see all the angles and, you know.
Right.
Yeah. It is an interesting game, though. It is. And I learned a lot. And I think we're going to have to play again this week because, you know, now that I've learned it and it's kind of fresh, I want to solidify my strategy.
This is the kind of game that I really enjoy. Like, I enjoy a lot of different kind of games, but this is the kind of game that I enjoy that my family really does not, which is like the long turn-based, like going on for a while games, strategy.
Yeah.
I enjoy those. I'm not saying I'm good at them, but I can do those games. I can be in for the long haul kind of thing.
Right.
My family is not like, they want like quick card games and
they want to move along.
They want,
well,
which is fine too, which I do enjoy doing, but I don't have anyone to do these longer games with.
But like Unstable Unicorns is a longer, I mean, it can be, there's a lot of strategy involved. And we've had, depending on how it turns out, we've had unicorn games that are done in 45 minutes, but then we've had other ones that take hours.
Yeah. And my family just is not, they won't, like, we have that game and they are not interested. We opened it and started going through the directions and they were like, no.
Oh, we have expansion packs and all kinds of the complicated variations and
but no.
Cool. Yeah. Well, so now it's the 27th. Happy day 27. And now we're into, Kwanzaa. And I enjoyed my interview with Carolyn. And so my Kwanzaa box, unfortunately, has been delayed.
Yeah.
So I don't have that to show you yet because life, weather, people's work, things. So that's all right. So watch my Instagram when that finally arrives.
Yeah, today is the second day of the Yarn Stash D-Stash.
Right.
So yesterday you were supposed to gather everything into one working area, whether it be a room, an unused bed. One year I had a lady who was like, look, I have a small apartment. What do I do? And we were sort of talking things through. And what we came up with for her was pull your couch out from behind the wall.
Right.
Or from the wall and like just put everything back there for now. And then you can pull things out as you need it for the D-stash. And so that's what she ended up doing.
Yeah.
So, but basically, and for a lot of us, as you're going through this process, you'll come across something else. Just get it to that room. Just get it to that space and whatever.
So but today's thing
is, that was yesterday. So today we're doing project bags. So anything you have in a project bag, you're pulling it out. You're making sure like everything for the project is there. But then all of your notions and lip gloss and spare change and wrappers and everything.
Tootsie Roll wrappers.
That's getting separated out. Any trash is getting thrown away and everything else is getting just left out of the bag.
Right.
The project and directions go in the bag. Everything else gets left out for now and we're going to deal with it.
Okay.
And then if the bag needs to be washed or sewn or whatever, take care of that today. So that's the assignment for today.
Okay.
To do. Yeah. And I will say now, because people start getting antsy, we don't get to the yarn until nearly the end of the second week. This is about your whole stash. Everything having to do with your fiber craft. So just let it happen. Just let it happen.
Okay. We don't have to get stressed about it. It's about all of the tools and everything that goes along with it. All of the accessories.
Right. Yes, everything. You're going to be so organized and ready going into this next year. So, yeah.
Okay, then.
Yay.
So it's day 27.
It is. It's day 27. My little sticker popped open on me this morning. So I'm going to hold that down. Day 27.
Yep.
I guess I'm holding mine, so I'll go first.
Yeah. Cool. I was tinking because I messed up my eyelet row.
So we have new yarn today. This is yarn from the Silly Sheep Fiber Company.
Ooh.
This is a company owned by Becky Pritchard, who is a shepherdess out there on the west side of Shetland, and her family moved up from the mainland and brought their flock with them, and it's a mixed flock. So there's some Shetlands, there's some Cheviot, there's some Hebridean, and so I wanted to make sure to include Becky because she does really fun stuff where she'll have like 100% Cheviot, 100% Hebridean, 100% Shetland, but then she also does blends with them, and she's really good about labeling them, so you know exactly what fiber you're getting.
Yeah.
So this one is today's is Cheviot yarn that is dyed blue. She calls it navy. It's very blue color there.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. And we do have an interview with her coming up in a couple days.
Right.
Yeah. So nice.
You'll get to meet Becky.
So I have pattern day.
Okay. So it's socks. Where were we last time? It's been a few days since we
this
recorded.
is a pattern day. So we are.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, it's the pattern. It's the pattern.
This is the pattern that is going to unify all of those minis that I've been opening the whole time. So I'm done with yarn. I'm done with minis. Because so we had our minis were finished on the 24th, and then we had the two bigger skeins of the black background that's going to bring everything together. And then this is the pattern that does that from Crystal Hiatt, and we have an interview with her later on. But this is the C2C pattern.
Look at that. What a neat
pattern
overlay.
Yeah. So what the deal is, apparently it's knitted in a tube, because we have a lot of yardage here, knitted in a tube, and it's a very long cowl that's knitted in a tube. So it's, that extra thickness and squish.
And really with the color work, it's going to be like 4 thicknesses, because you have the strand behind too. That's going to be super warm.
Mosaic, I believe, a provisional cast on and mosaic, and you have a coupon code for the pattern itself, which is what I'm covering here for obvious reasons. And then also there's a code for a discount, a substantial discount off of her shop. So Crystal's shop, which is Millie's Knit Designs. And we have an interview with her later on. But that's interesting how she brings all that together.
Yeah.
Right. So now is when you go download and get started.
Yes.
And I don't know that I have time to do that at the moment, because I'm still working on my sister's clogs. Didn't get a lot done on that because there's a lot of counting. So I was just working on the blankie while we were playing our games, because that's just back and forth. And I weighed this. This is the 11th mini.
Good job. That's the halfway point, right?
Well, yes. This is 20 grams. So yeah, after I knit 10, I'll be going back the other way.
Nice. How's the size looking? Is it going to be like lap blanket? Is it going to be twin size?
No, lap. It'll be a lap square.
Nice.
Yeah, it's probably going to be.
Jana?
I'm guessing it's going to be about 5 feet square. And I'm really digging the fade. Now, I think, there's more of a color jump here at the bottom. But that's going to tie back together with the rest of I'll just show you, because we're going to be done with this podcast before I get.
Yeah, that's
true.
What I
mean? So I'll show you where we're going here.
Okay.
Yeah. See?
Nice.
Where we're going.
Lovely.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. So watch my Instagram if you want to see how it all turns out.
Yeah. And who knows, you still have time. You might have it done. No pressure, Jana.
No, because I have birthday clogs to finish for my sister. And
right. Yeah.
And I have a couple of Happy New Year things to get out to people, because
they
weren't done before Christmas. So it's going to be like, woo, Happy New Year.
Nice.
That's okay.
Excellent.
Okay. So today's interview we have with Judy and Emily from Jems Luxe Fiber.
Oh, so
because they were back.
22?
Yeah, I opened their mini scan on the 20th, but we had our Happy Hanukkah interview with Jana, and so they were gracious, and we rescheduled them for today. So we have their interview today, and they're a lot of fun. So, all right,
I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here this morning with Judy and Emily from Jems Luxe in Mississippi. Yeah. I always forget my abbreviations. Like MS is Mississippi, not Missouri.
Right.
Right. But welcome to the podcast. I'm glad to have you back again this year.
Thank you.
You have such bright colors behind you. We were just discussing that and how festive, and that'll wake you up. When you walk in your shop every morning, are you like, bam, color?
We love bright colors.
Yes, I think I have to walk up every morning just to look, just a quick look, and then back to work.
Well, so give us a short overview of how you started yarn dyeing and how you started your company, because Jems is a unique kind of a play on words.
Mm-hmm. It is an acronym. Jems stands for, the J is for Judy.
E is for Emily.
And then the MS is for Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. That makes sense. And it's also like gemstone. Do you do anything?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So our solids that you see behind us are gemstone named. And then the variegated is actually based off of Greek mythology, the gods and goddesses. We started dyeing yarn in January of 2019. And when we started dyeing yarn, we wanted a theme that would continue throughout, not just some random.
Not something that was just kind of be in and then out,
Right.
So our variegated tells the stories of the gods and goddesses. And then, of course, the solids or tonals are gemstones.
Well, that makes sense with your logo, the Greek.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, now I get it. I'm a little slow on the uptake, especially this in the morning. Okay. That's wonderful. So how did you start dyeing yarn, though?
So I had a fabric shop to begin with, and then I started knitting.
Right.
And wanted to add some yarn. And then I discovered indie dyed yarn. And one day I was like, hey, Emily, let's dye yarn.
No.
And I kept on. And finally one day she walked in and said,
we're okay, let's do it. So.
And
it was actually, I just let her in on a secret not too long ago, like a couple weeks ago. I said, do you know why I really did it? And she was like, why? I said, FOMO. Because I knew you were going to fix him to do it, and I didn't want to miss out.
Right. So have you all been, you've known each other a long time?
No. She actually had started coming to work for me because I had the fabric shop, but also painted furniture and reupholstered furniture.
Okay.
And so she dabbled a little bit in the painting, and so she came and started doing that. But I discovered that she did know how to knit. And so when I started knitting, I was like, teach me how to knit.
No. I'm not a good teacher. I'm not patient.
So we've only probably been friends since 2015.
Okay, yeah. So a couple, 2-3 years or 4 years before you started your Jems Luxe. Okay.
Yes.
Right on. That's neat. And so now you're all into it. So like full time, just doing it.
Right. Mm-hmm. We had a crazy fall, very busy fall season.
Yes.
We had 7 shows over the course of 11 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
But it was
and
fun.
You're trying to keep up your stock. Like, did you dye a whole bunch of stuff ahead of time, or are you trying to keep up as you're having your shows, or both?
Both.
Yeah.
We had we got new carts. These are metal carts behind us. We have 8. There's some on the back side, and we got those right before our first fall show. Before we had some other grid wall and art. But we had it stocked, and then we had those IKEA blue bags as back stock stored in our trailer and car. And so from show to show, we would, put out new.
Right.
But then in between, we would come home and dye more yarn and then just throw it in the car. And then when we would get to our next show,
we took the label, the twister,
oh my gosh. So you're
just worked on the rest too.
Yeah. So you've got some amazing colorways there just behind you. I mean, that's huge. So you, besides doing shows though, I mean, you sell online, right?
Yes.
Okay. So people can order from your shop online if they can't find you in their local. Right.
Yeah.
So,
and our website is jemsluxefibers.com.
Right. And I'll put all your social media and your website information down below in the video description.
Okay.
So that's amazing. So what do you have coming up for the new year? Do you have like themes and new things coming out that you can tell us about, or is it like not secret?
Sure, we can tell you. One thing that has happened this year, at the beginning of January, we started doing a mini club.
Okay.
And so every month a new mini set would come out based off of gods and goddesses. Okay. And we have bulky minis. We are the only dyer doing bulky minis.
Right.
And then we have sock minis and then 2 different DK minis. One is 100% superwash and then the other has 25% nylon.
Okay.
Our mini sets have sold very well this year. Mm-hmm. We sold out of several mini sets at some shows. And that was like our huge seller, bulky sock.
Interesting.
And so we're going to continue that again coming up. But we're working with some really great designers. Uh-huh. One thing that happened this year, we were in the book, The Art of Knitting Hats by Courtney Flynn. Uh-huh. That is our hat, and it is using our bulky minis.
Ooh, I was going to ask you if you could show me some. See, that would be so satisfying. Like you knit through, I mean, I don't know how many yards is in a bulky mini, but it would be so much fun to like knit that and then switch and then knit that and then switch.
Yes.
Like for the instant gratification, impatient people, you know.
Yeah.
Right. And then this one.
Cool.
So that has been really, really big this year. And we are also working with Casapinka.
Nice. Sharon from Security.
Yes. That was so fun. We met Casapinka at our booth at Indie Untangled in New York. Wow. So we're working with several designers and with the bulky minis. And so we have a lot of new colors coming out.
Wow.
We've had a really, really great year and we're excited for next year.
That's super fun. And for those of you that don't know what I'm referring to, Sharon from Security is the gal's cat. And it's just hilarious.
Yeah. It is.
The stuff that she posts on Instagram is just super funny. I mean, I just follow because of the cat. I mean, obviously the yarn, but I mean, I'm a cat person too. Like we're crazy cat people. Anyway, I think it's fantastic. So one thing that we're asking everyone that we've interviewed as well is, and you may not even have had time, but it's okay if it's an older show. But, you know, knitters love to watch Netflix or streaming or podcasts or, you know, things like that. So do you, either one of or both of you, have any recommendations for binge-worthy knitting shows?
Goodness.
I know I'm catching you. I mean, I didn't give you any time to compare this, but just as an example, I like to watch stuff on Acorn or BBC, like the British detective shows, British cop shows, basically. Let's see. A lot of people are watching. Well, just yesterday on the podcast. Well, I guess it won't be yesterday when this airs. But Anne and I were recently talking about last year about this time, 1883 came out, and it's the prequel to the popular series Yellowstone.
Right.
Well, I just found out that 1923 is coming out on December 18th. And that's 40 years after 1883, and it follows the Dutton family, you know, so that's interesting. So, you know, shows like that we all get hooked into. So I don't know if you've had a lot of time to watch or do anything. I don't know. Do you listen to podcasts while you're working, while you're dyeing yarn?
Not really. Maybe turn on some music. And
we usually have music going pretty much.
I'm not too much I mean, she probably watches more TV. I don't really watch a whole lot of TV. Every once in a while she'll say, "Oh, watch this," and I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll watch it."
Yeah.
But I do watch all of the Yellowstone, and that's really I love that show.
Interesting. That's super interesting. Go ahead, Emily.
I haven't watched that, but I got kind of hooked on Big Sky, and so like I've been watching that.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Cool. That's interesting. Anne and I had quite a heated conversation. Like, she watches Yellowstone, and it's like her guilty pleasure TV because it's just ridiculous and violent and like,
yeah.
But it's, we were like, I mean, no offense if you don't agree, that's totally fine. But we're like, well, it's kind of trash TV, really. But I only watched like an episode and a half. And as I said to her, I was like, it reminds me of like a 2020 version of Dallas from, JR and Sue Ellen and all the drama. It's like just a 2020 version of like 80s soap opera.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I really liked 1823 just because of the historical stuff and, the Oregon Trail and all of this. And, so I thought that was super interesting. So.
I did watch the 1883 and I enjoyed that as well.
Yeah, Anne hated it. You can watch the other podcast to see why. But anyway, it's amazing to me how many knitters really enjoy like true crime podcasts. And,
I can't do it. So I'm by myself a lot. So like I can't do that.
I know I did watch the Jeffrey Dahmer on Netflix.
A lot of knitters are into like the scary true crime. And the thing is I find the forensics part interesting, from a forensics perspective, but I don't want to watch. No, that's not for me. I'm a wuss, really.
We've also signed up for a new show that's happening next year. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's called Flock Fiber Festival. It's going to be in Seattle in August.
Yes.
Nice.
Really big name other yarn companies are going to be there, and we've signed up. And so that's going to be quite a haul for us, but we're excited. And
I was going to say that's quite a drive from Mississippi.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because the only thing, will you drive or can you
No,
you can't pack enough yarn on us. And then how would you'd have to like rent tables or something that doesn't seem reasonable.
We're going to drive. It'll take about 3 days. When we went to New York this fall, it took about 2 days. Yeah, and it really wasn't bad. I enjoy driving. So.
Yeah, and we had like perfect weather. We didn't have any issues. So it was really nice.
Wow, that's fantastic. I'll Google that and put the link for that down below. So it sounds like you have a lot of big things coming up too.
We have a lot of shows that we are doing. We've signed up for, and we're waiting to hear back if we've been accepted. So
okay. All right. But in the meantime, though, people can find you online.
Yes.
Like I said, and you're doing your clubs, and then of course you have your regular stock in the shop online.
Yes. We've picked up several different people have been finding about our minis. And so our minis have been selling like crazy.
Oh, wow. Wow. Now that's the sock.
This is the sock.
Okay. That's cool.
So
are those like 90-ish yards each?
Yes.
Yards, yes.
Okay. I was going to ask you about that. So each set is 5. Ooh,
right.
Look
and then that's our bulky minis.
Wow. I like that set, how it really like coordinates with your labels.
Oh, yes.
And so several yarn shops are now carrying single bulky minis.
Wow.
Or, color work to do, like this is a cowl and it's using all different bulky minis with the full skein.
Yeah.
So our mini sets have been selling really well and individually.
That would be a great Netflix knit right there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, super easy. Not have to think about it at all.
But that's so fun to be able to like switch. How many yards? I was going to ask you, how many yards is a bulky mini?
So each mini, and so like that's a mini, is 21 yards. It's 20 grams, 21 yards. And so this was 5 minis, right?
5 minis.
With a full skein of white.
Right.
That's cool.
So it's a great way to do color work.
And like I said, that'd be so satisfying to be able to switch that often.
Yes. We created a new thing too. This was in our personal advent box, and it's sitting right here. And you're like, okay, what is this? But if you can see, it's holding stitch markers.
Oh, yeah.
So we designed this, and it was in our advent box personally. And so, like if you have your special stitch marker, and you can only put so many stitch markers on a garment as you're knitting it.
Right.
But like if you have like a keepsake or something like that, so you could put this in like your little knitting area and
on your desk or on your end table. Sure.
Yeah.
That's really pretty. Wow.
Thank you.
And so is that made out of like an acrylic, or how does
it's 3D printed?
Oh,
and
okay.
It just kind of goes together.
Sure.
And we had this specially designed.
Wow, that's neat. That's really neat.
Thank you.
Cool. You have a lot of cool stuff going on.
Yes. We like to kind of be original, and I'm always like, oh, I have another idea. Let's do this.
Like, oh no.
What does this involve? What do I have to do?
This was been another shawl that we had in our booth.
Beautiful.
This is called Flickering Light by Lisa Ross, Paper Daisy Creation.
Okay.
And so this was using our minis. This has been a huge seller.
Yeah.
We had it in our booth, and we would sell 15 to 20 sets every show. So with this, we were asking about how much yarn we would have dye. We had plenty of this always dyed because
That's
we sold
beautiful.
it. And people would say it looks like Picasso.
Monet.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but yeah, I mean, like, and it's really, they come in and they go, okay, I want that. So,
yeah.
Do you find that people want that pattern and they want their own colors, or do they want the color scheme that they're seeing, or both?
Mostly the ones that they'll say, I want that exact one.
Yes.
Okay.
But sometimes they will create.
Yeah. They'll say, what do you think? If I want this mini set, what will go with it? And we help them pick out a color.
That's neat. I mean, obviously you have a great color sense. That's fantastic. And I had a yarn shop person tell me once that a majority of people want to knit what they see in the photo of the pattern.
Right.
Yes.
So that kind of follows what you're saying, is that people see your sample and they want that same thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're going to put it up, you got to make sure you have the stock to go with it.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, we literally, this mini set, and we're sold out right now because of course we can't keep it in. And we since we were gone so much and we had a lot of wholesale orders, we are like, we have minis everywhere that we're trying to get packaged up to ship back out. And so this one we just sold out of again.
Yes.
So is it time to get your kids to come and help, or hire some people, or
yes, for sure.
But that's a good problem to have. That's wonderful. Yeah.
I think that when we did our live with you last year, we had just bought this building that we're in. So we've been here a year now, and it has been really nice that we expanded, because otherwise we would not be able to.
No. Could you imagine?
No.
Oh my goodness.
If you were still in like your quilting shop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super small.
We had like a little bathroom sink.
Yeah.
Now we have 2 big commercial sinks.
Wow. Wow. That's great. I'm so happy you're doing well and your shop is successful and you have all these events coming up. I'll look for the links for the one you talked about in Seattle. Yeah. Or if you have time to send it to me, if you have it handy, that'd be great.
Okay.
But that's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you for inviting us. We enjoy it. And we do a podcast every Friday at 11 o'clock Central.
Wow. As if you don't have enough to do.
Well, it's a great way to interact with all of our customers and let them know what's new and where we're going. And we haven't been doing a lot of them this fall because we've been gone. And so we get to do one this morning.
Right.
And
I know it'll feel weird. We haven't been on in forever.
Well, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you hopefully at one of your shows.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Thank you.